All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, I feel like a truck hit me today. and it's today is 4th of July, 7:45 p.m. And we've been getting some fish early this year. We got some real good fish early this year. Um, I didn't realize until right now I was talking with Sean before coming to do this podcast. We did 6 tides in a row, which is pretty interesting. I mean, like, obviously, if you all don't know this, right? There's 2 tides a day, okay, for pretty much any beach. Night tide or day tide, the one you see in the day, night, all that. So they've been fishing us. We've been fishing 2 tides a day. What's today? I don't know what day. The date is Saturday. Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. Okay, so that means they started us on Wednesday night's tide, and we were out there at 1 in the morning fishing. There were bears. There were bears around. I remember that night I woke up, was coming downstairs, and I heard them revving the bike over here in front, and there was a bear that got into the trash again and was eating it down the road. And it's not far for a bear to get closer to us. So we got ready, went down. That night, to the north of us, we heard someone blowing a freaking whistle like crazy, and then yelling, and we couldn't really make out what they were saying. But so I don't know. I figured it was a bear because I mean I've had that experience of coming from the water, so I was all freaking. My head was on a swivel, looking around everywhere while we were picking out there at night. And I have some footage of that night, one of the nights that we fished. But since I wear my headband, I don't wear my GoPro at night all the time. Obviously, this morning I didn't wear it. I just got up. I got up a little bit late. I was in a rush. I just went out. I didn't even put on my GoPro. So, anyways, that night, after the whistle blowing, and maybe, I don't know, half an hour later, a side or two down south of us, on the side south of us, I hear someone yelling out too. And then I thought they were yelling at their partner, but in the back of my mind, I kind of knew it was a bear. So later on, we found out, before we fished the next day's tide, the second tide that day, no, wait, after the second tide that day, in the afternoon, I found out from my buddy Ryan. He fishes out there, one of those sites, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I was out there, and then I just see a few bears out there. So in total, there was like 6 bears out on the beach. One of them had like 2 cubs, and then there was the ones to the north that got scared down that way, and then another mom and a cub. Bears everywhere. Let's put it that way." And so that night that he told me, he's like, "All right, I'll see you on the next episode of a Bears Encounter." He's just joking around, talking a lot of smack. He's a cool guy. Um, so we go out, we do that tide, do the morning's tide, go out again, and on the way back from that morning's tide, we see paw prints everywhere too. It came around a raft. You'll see the videos I'll put in on about the bear. You'll see it. It came around one of the rafts. It was pretty much right there on the beach with us. It went around us while we were picking the fish, and that's like within 100 yards of it. And those fun. So on the way back, we saw paw prints, and there was one big, one small, obviously. So we figured out it was a cub. While we were washing our bikes, Jason and I, at the little creek that's there, we usually get buckets of. It's fresh water, so it comes out of a creek. That way we can wash off some of the sand and all the salt water as much as we can to slow down the corrosion on the bikes and trailers. And I'm looking down towards Big Creek, and there's big mud flats there, and it's already pretty daylight out by the time I'm seeing this. So I look down the beach, and before we go, I tell Jason, like, "Hey man, I see something out in the mud flats." And we go riding down. As we get closer, it's a mama bear, a sow is what they're called, a mama bear and the cub. They're swimming across the creek to the sandbar, and then here's the thing: down that sandbar, probably a good 300-400 yards is one of the buying stations that the other fishermen from the north side bring to sell there on their bikes and stuff. So we're all trying to get the bear, out there and not to cross, because it wants to cross back. I'm assuming it wants to come back on mainland to go back to its burrow or whatever it's called. So Jason, I run down camp because I see Jason and it turns back around, heads south, and then so we try to cut it off because we didn't want it to go down to the fishermen because there were still people fishing out there on their nets, and we see them, right? So he goes on ahead, and then a little hill on the side of the road, we lose track of the bear, we stop, and it turned back around and started swimming back around up the creek. So we go back up, we drive towards camp, rev it, try to scare it away again, and then I go into camp and I get a hold of somebody walking into the office, and I'm like, hey, good morning, but real quick, do you have I think it was the boss man, do you have a radio on you? And he's like, no, I don't. I was like, well, I'd want to give the boys a heads up across the beach that there's a bear and a mama bear and a cub coming, because those are the more dangerous than just a single bear. He's like, okay, I'll go tell the people on the docks, and I went back, and anyways, eventually that mama bear and the cub swam back across because I was helping Alan wash the trailer, and then Jason, and they were helping people get unstuck from the beach that got stuck with fish. So that gave the mama bear and the cub plenty of time to cross back across the river. And when we were coming back, Alan, Jason, and I, we saw it. Like, it was in the tundra already, and we stopped, we saw it was already good distance. It looked up at us to make sure we weren't following it, and it took off. Okay, cool. Right at the entrance of camp, and I'm coming in first, I see another bear. It's a blonde bear. This is a bear that's been here before, and it's been getting into the trash a lot. He's been a problematic bear. So I see him, and I just, I hit the brakes, I downshift on my bike, and I just rev it, just make it sound louder. So he goes galloping a certain distance and stops, looks back, and just starts waddling. It's like, oh crap, he's going around where they have the showers for the workers. So I go up, and I see this guy come out of the cannery, the cookhouse, and I was like, I just whistle him, hey, there's a freaking bear over here. He's like, oh, shit. So, and I just kind of like went up with the bike with him, kind of kept my eye on the bear between the buildings, and the guy walks into where the showers are, and that's the building that the bear is behind. So I'm like, okay, he's inside, fine, that's fine, whatever. So, and I see the bear coming around the corner. Jason comes up, and he's following it too. The guy that just walked into that building kind of walks out, and Jason's like, hey, there's a bear back there. The guy's like, oh shit, kind of steps halfway back. I thought he was going to go inside, but he just stayed there at the door. So I looked, and I was like, hey, just freaking run, go, get the hell out of here. And we see the bear going that way, and he just, boom, he booked it back to the cookhouse. Skinny boy ran pretty fast. And so that bear was just walking up the tundra up towards our cabin here, but it went around the lake, and it didn't bother anybody after that, which was good, obviously. But they're out here. Bears are out here. Luckily for us, last night, no bears whatsoever. We had 2 really good tides. They put us on stop for tonight. I guess to let the escapement of fish, bring up the numbers or whatnot, or have us rest, whatever, because it's the 4th of July, right? And I didn't realize it was those 6 tides. I feel tired. I didn't know. I thought we did like maybe 4 or 5 in a row. Yeah, right. And we're out there for a good 2.5 hours, maybe picking fish, holding onto a raft with a couple, like 800 pounds of fish in it, with those waves hitting, and then you're picking, and you have to get the net out. This is hard work, people. This is hard work. So every time you get Alaskan salmon, you better think of these videos and appreciate that salmon. It's good work, though. It's honest work. I like it. It's really great up here. Again, I feel like I got hit by a truck, but I feel good because we're getting poundage. We're getting fish. This is going to be a great season. And that's because the run hasn't hit yet. The major numbers of fish after today, it should be hidden maybe within the next 2 days. But, I was talking with Alan, and he was like, yeah, anything that we've gotten so far up to today is considered pretty much bonus, right? Like a little extra for us because, you know, we're being blessed with a lot of fish, you know, and we've been praying for it. So thank God for that. And that's how I know it's going to be a great season because we've gotten all this to start off. We have, and I mean, I'm excited because we're getting a lot, but in the reality is the reason why is because there's a lot of people up here not fishing, especially boats, right? And it's sad to say that and to realize that because of the whole COVID thing that's going on for the summer, they've cut the fleet by quite a bit that are fishing in the bay. So we're getting a lot more. Better for us, right? Silver lining. That's what I'm doing. It's looking at the silver lining. So I mean, it's been a few days since I checked in. I guess I don't remember the last time I did my podcast. I'll check it on the computer. I've been editing a few videos, and by the time I get back to some good signal, I'll upload those. So hopefully you guys check them out, and if you enjoy them, awesome. Share them too. But yeah, happy 4th of July, everybody. It's nothing really to do up here for the most part. Don't pop fireworks. It's a dry camp. I mean, there might be people down the beach that will be drinking. They usually do or whatnot. But I mean, I'm not drinking. It's okay. I'm too tired. If I have like 2-3 beers, I'm out. And I'd rather not. And I'd rather catch up on some more sleep. Because today when we got back from picking our net, like a 4-wheeler got stuck hauling our fish that was carrying a trailer with like 1,000 pounds of fish in it. That mud out there is very nasty. My boots got sucked off of my wetsuit because it's so sticky. It's like molasses. That's all you hear every time you take a step. But and that didn't help out. It was pretty cool. I wish I had my GoPro for that because a guy came over and he's like, yeah, you know, I'll bring my truck. And then he didn't realize that it was so soft right before where we got stuck. We thought it was just a small patch, but no, it was a bigger patch than we thought. So his truck got stuck. And then there's more people that come down to the beach. And this is what I love about it up here. It's a big community. Everybody loves to help out everybody. If they see something like that, they'll come by. So we had another 4 or 5 other 4-wheelers come up. We tied up 4 4-wheelers to the back of the truck. He popped it in reverse. And somebody made the joke that it looks like a Honda commercial. A Honda freaking 4-wheeler commercial. It was pretty cool. But I popped it in reverse, got it out, and then, you know, we finally got our bike out with the fish, and it was exhausting. I came back and I knocked out. I didn't even know I was knocked out until someone said, hey, time to eat. So I came down half brain dead and eating. I feel good. I feel better. Don't get me wrong. I'm still tired as hell. But I'm enjoying every second of it. Well, guys, that's it for this one. It's, again, another update for my podcast. Everything is pretty much repetition here. We go set out our nets. We come back. We go back out, pick the nets, pick it up, or leave it there if we need to. It's just repetition. But as more interesting things happen, I'll see if I can record them if I have them. If not, then, you know, I'll talk about it. Hopefully, you know, you guys can envision it. But other than that, I wish you all, again, a happy 4th of July. I know by the time you see this, it's going to be late, but either way. And, you know, stay tuned for the next one. Talk to you later.